Hey everybody, welcome back to Video Game Mess. So, I got a super fun and super exciting episode for you guys today because I am playing the recently released and updated Famidash. If you've never played Geometry Dash before, it's basically the exact same thing, but it's been brought down to the Nintendo Entertainment System or the Famicom because obviously NES Dash, really not a very fun title to say. This was developed in part by Cantuwantu, a name you've heard on the channel before on the SNES Rumble front, but it has like 3 dozen different contributors to the project. So when you first load the game up, you just go through a couple of pages, see the names, and see how big of a project this truly is. But the good thing is, from start to finish, this is just straight up one of the best ROM hacks I played in 2025. Before I get too far involved though, do me a huge favor, go down below, hit like and subscribe, and ring that notification bell, definitely helps us out. And if you feel so inclined and want to support the channel, we got a Patreon link down below as well. But right off the top, it should be pretty obvious what this is actually doing. All you have is one button, and it is jump. This is a music rhythm game in the way that you have to push your buttons in time with both the jumps and the music. When you're playing well, you basically feel invincible, and when you get stuck on a certain spot, you're going to feel like the game is absolutely mugging you in the back alley. But that is a lot of fun in a game like this. Although Video Game Esoterica has to let you in on a dirty little secret about himself, I have absolutely no musical rhythm in real life. I can still to this day stomp a double backflip on pretty much any ski jump out there. I can shoot pirate basically any golf course I go to, and if I warm up well, I can still pitch like 85 to 86 miles an hour. I can also do a kickflip on command. But when it comes to musical rhythm, dance, or anything like that, I am 10 out of 10 straight up a dumpster fire piece of crap when it comes to being able to be accomplished at any of those things. It is just not how my brain works. So I am trying my ever-loving best to actually make this footage look good, but trust me, it is very difficult, especially in later levels. And even though this has nothing to do with something like a bullet hell shmup from Cave or another manufacturer, it gives me the same sensation and feedback loop because you have to read the screen quickly, you have to understand all of the patterns, and you have to memorize things if you're ever going to get better at the game. But the nice thing is you have a ton of tracks here, and there's going to be 2 different ROMs, the B-sides as well as the main track, and you're going to have a practice mode as well where you can load checkpoints up. Memorizing things, being able to do quick screen reads is going to be the name of the game, and it's going to be so addicting to actually try to beat a level, because the nice thing is when you die, you basically reset almost immediately, like 30 frames, and you're right back into the action. You're going to end up playing one course, 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hours to finally complete it, but you're absolutely going to get addicted and sucked in when that happens. That is the sign of an incredible game, when you just want to keep coming back for more over and over and over again. And trust me, when you actually complete a course, the sensation of satisfaction is absolutely epic. Even for me, I was only ever able to complete the beginner one, and that might be as far as I ever went. And honestly, I had to break out my arcade stick for this as well, because just a controller button wasn't doing it for me. I needed that big feedback button to be able to actually get any better at this game. Leave me a comment down below and you tell me, did you play Geometry Dash at all, and is this a genre you're interested in? Sure, it's not the most visually not impressive but descriptive game in the world. It is quite simple, but that's why it is so effective. All you need to do is read what's coming up on the screen, and the graphical separation in the sprites and backgrounds really does make that easy. This isn't the type of game that's supposed to wow you with massive sprites. It wows you with its speed, its sensation, just overall creativity, and that is definitely something I absolutely love when it comes to ROM hacks. I just love watching people make something that's never existed before on a certain system, and when it is this good, this effective, and this overall charming and addictive, you just kind of get into it and you want to learn more. And you'll see here there is a percentage meter that will give you an overall rating of how far you've got into the level, so if you do get stuck, you'll be able to quickly tell, okay, I'm at 74%, so I really need to work on that area. And because there is practice mode, you can kind of practice every area, so then you can string together a run. Although for me personally, being able to do it from start to finish without practicing, just kind of going through the level and trying to do the screen read is where a lot of the fun comes. But again, this is one of those things. It is a very specialized genre. You're either going to absolutely love it or it's not going to be for you whatsoever. So you tell me down below how you feel about it. But this is definitely impressive on the NES or Famicom with a custom mapper, just kind of making this thing do a lot of stuff. And of course it's a rhythm game, so it's got great music, so listen and I'll be right back. I mean, that music was awesome, and honestly, every single track in this game is going to be a straight 10 out of 10 banger. If there is one bit of feedback I would provide, it's only contextual to this capture, not on my LG C4 OLED, and definitely not on my PVM, is that the vertical lines in the background can get a little bit wiggly every once in a while, and they do like to shimmer. Now, I'm sure that's my capture card, but at least when I was playing this, I didn't notice it whatsoever. But when I'm actually doing the voiceover, watching the footage in the background, it kind of gives me a little bit of what I would call an eye wibble, for lack of a better term. This is definitely something that's going to excel on an LG C4 OLED or any other good OLED TV, and trust me, on my PVM absolutely looks stunning. But if you do notice a little bit of that shimmer in the background, it could just be because your monitor is doing some strange things with it, because my production monitors in my studio absolutely meant just for editing. They're not meant for gaming at all, so it is one of those things that I did notice, and I'm sure in the capture it's going to be pretty apparent, because I think my capture card had a little bit of issues resolving that detail as well. But it is a very minor thing, and trust me, if you have access to a CRT television, this is going to be even better because you have absolutely no latency. But honestly, it's one of those things, even NES emulation now is really keeping latency down to an absolute minimum, so unless you're using a really old emulator or you're using some sort of TV that introduces a lot of lag, you will be fine. But trust me, if you do have a TV that introduces over a frame of lag, you are going to notice that when you play this game. You absolutely want to have the least amount of lag possible, because some of these jumps I wouldn't say are frame perfect, but they're damn near frame perfect. I'm not sure what the tightest frame window would be on some of these, but I feel like maybe 5 to 10 frames, or else you're going to die. And that really is the thing about Famidash. All of the input windows, especially in later levels, definitely get tight, but that is again where a lot of the fun comes in. You're going to challenge yourself to continue to play this game. You're going to want to get better at it, and if you have friends over for game nights, this is absolutely the type of thing you want to load up and basically pass the controller back and forth. Which leads to my second bit of feedback, and it really isn't feedback, it is more a feature request, and trust me, if it never happens, I will not be upset. I wish this had a multiplayer mode where when you died, it would actually start you at the beginning of the level, but you had to push the start button before you'd actually start the level. That way you could have 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, an infinite amount of friends sitting around, and you could pass the controller back and forth and kind of challenge each other to see who can beat the level first. It's just one of those things, the level restarts so quickly, you're not really going to be able to shove the controller into another friend's hand unless you want pure chaos, and honestly, that kind of chaos could be something fun for game night, but it is something that I think would really benefit this game. But again, I am just recommending things. I don't expect the developers to do it. I only kind of provide feedback, and if they feel like it, great. If not, it's totally their game. But honestly, there's just been a ton of fun on the Nintendo side of things this year, especially on the Super Nintendo, so it's great to see the NES get some love. One more soundtrack sample and I'll be right back with more. Super charming soundtrack that is a lot of fun to listen to, but when you get here, when you actually start inverting gravity and have to jump from either the floor or the ceiling, it is where, for lack of a better term, it's absolutely a mindfuck. Because like I mentioned about the backflips earlier in the video, I am perfectly fine being upside down in the air with the ground 40 to 50 feet below me. When I'm actually trying to play a platforming game and it inverts gravity, my brain basically turns into oatmeal, and I just cannot figure it out whatsoever. But again, everyone has their own unique skill set. I can probably play a bullet hell shmup better than a lot of listeners, but as far as rhythm games are concerned, I probably absolutely just suck compared to most of you out there. But that doesn't mean I don't have fun, and that is a really good testament to a good ROM hack or a good new game like this. Even if I'm not great at it, it makes me want to come back and continue to play it. And honestly, from a technical showcase, there's a lot of fun going on here as well. Absolutely fluid, smooth scrolling with some parallax in the background. It just absolutely is impressive, even if, like I said, the sprites aren't aren't very big, there's a ton of them, and it basically pushes the Famicom hardware in a lot of new, unique, and interesting ways. So if you want to play Famidash, there is a link in the description below. It is free, but you can donate a couple bucks to the developers, so if you feel like doing that, reward them for their hard work. But this is just the type of stuff I love to see, fans making new fun things for everyone to check out. And if you have played this game, leave me your thoughts down below. But we're done, go play some Famidash, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.